Now, there's another strategy that I tend to steer clear from. Okay, I don't like being associated with it. However, this definitely exists, and a lot of the whales in the game play it. And that is community profiting. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in this lecture. So essentially, what you're doing here is you're using the community to get a pulse on what's likely to pump. So watching YouTubers is a great way of pumping a cryptocurrency. So me, for instance, whenever I talk about a cryptocurrency, people tend to pump it. They tend to pump it for a very short term because all of a sudden I'm putting it in front of lots of people. I've got 53, 54,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I'm putting it in front of lots of people. And so people pump it because I'm making it very visible to people, and people try and get in there as early as possible. So when I do my live episodes, sometimes people really pump a coin, and by the time I've finished my live broadcast, it's already dumped. Okay, so people watch YouTubers, particularly the ones that have large communities, large subscriber bases, and they will pump that coin that they're talking about as early as possible and dump it. Then there's pump and dump groups. Now, I'm not part of any pump and dump groups. These are organized pumps. These are people that they're typically a community of people, which I'll talk about in a second. It's a community of people either operating in a Slack channel or a Telegram channel or one of these channels that you can have on a mobile app. And they organize a cryptocurrency to pump and then dump. Okay, because what normally happens is that they will pick a cryptocurrency that is under the radar or is probably oversold. They see that it's right at the bottom and then they pump it, but they organize pump it. So if you go on Bittrex and you look at their biggest gainers of the day or top gainer or top volume, and you look at the coin, you think, never heard of that before. Sometimes it's because it's an organized pump. Because a group of people, sometimes with high amounts of tradable money, they will get involved in this cryptocurrency, they will pump it, and then the speculative buyers will say, oh wow, look at this, this is really pumping. And they will go into it as well. And they will really skyrocket the price and send it right in front of people, putting it on the biggest gainers on Bittrex. But this is an organized pump. And people say, why is this pumping? What's happening? Typically, nothing is happening. It's just a cryptocurrency that looks like it's at the right stage to pump. A community, a pump and dump community, get behind it and they pump it. The speculative buyers get involved in it, and it pumps it to such an extent it gets in front of everybody. And this typically burns people. This is why it's really, really pivotal to set a stop loss. Now, these groups, now you can make your own group if you really want to do this. This is what a lot of whales do. They do this full time. They're part of groups or they create groups. Now, it all depends really on how much the people within the group have to throw at a cryptocurrency. So I certainly know of people that are involved in communities where there's literally 20 to 30 people, but they're whales. There's 20 to 30 people that can just chuck 100 Bitcoin at something and it not really dent their holdings, okay? So if you put like 100 Bitcoin behind something times 20, that can really skyrocket a price, particularly if it's got a low coin supply, because that's open to more volatility. And so people, these people, these whales will get behind it, really spike the price, make a huge profit, and then get out. And then if you've got smaller amounts of money that can be thrown at a cryptocurrency, then you'll probably need anything from 1,000 to 10,000 people in a community, all getting behind a coin, putting whatever they have behind it, agreeing to a sell price, and then once it hits the price that they sell at, they all sell en masse. So this is how pump and dump groups really thrive in cryptocurrency, because they throw a lot of money at it en masse and then they sell en masse. Okay, so that is how a pump and dump group operates, and that is how they can pump and dump a coin without any actual market news behind them. And this is just basic price manipulation. Okay, the price isn't going up because of any news, because of anything significant. Sometimes the price can go up on a completely dead project. Okay, like for instance, Chaincoin, that went up times 100 and it was a dead project. The developers stopped working on it some time ago, but a group of people got behind it and they manipulated the price. They bought in quite high. They encouraged a lot of speculative buyers that got involved. I actually got involved in this, but I didn't know it was a pump and dump. I actually said, wow, this is really spiking. Lots of people really pumped that up. And it was pure price manipulation, no actual value. It was just pure putting a ton of money into it made it very volatile, made it go up incredibly in price, and then subsequently it dumped. It went from 6 cents to $6, and now it is worth about 10 cents. So that is how to profit using a community. So you can either use YouTube, or you can create a community or join a community. And some of these communities actually charge you to actually be involved. And the reason why is because they want to, I suppose, vet you and make sure you've actually got the disposable income to get involved in these groups. They don't just take anyone, they take people that have a lot of money, a lot of disposable money, to actually get involved in the community profiting, in the pump and dump. So this is an area I basically keep my hands away from. I don't want to get involved in this. I like to trade on a coin that has actual value because it's easier to not get burnt, because you know that there's actual value behind the price spike. Whereas in this, you could get burnt at any time. And I know people that have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars getting involved in pump and dump groups. I don't recommend it, but it does happen, and it's a way that you can profit. So, hope that's clarified that. I'll see you in the next lecture.